That's all right. And I know Councillor Long is sending ESP to me because we're definitely on the same page with this next topic, because our phone's been ringing off the hook with our Knobscot neighbors asking us about the CVS that's being built and the lack of a minute clinic there, and which was presented as part of the CVS plan when the whole Knobscot village zoning proposal was presented to the neighborhood. So my question to you is, have you heard that outcry, and have you reached out to CVS to ask them what we need to do to get that minute clinic included in the CVS, which they say they can add? There's enough room, for it within their current footprint, as they had promised the neighborhood. And if you haven't, are you willing to do that?
Yes, I am. I haven't, but I am willing to do it. And I guess the question for Councilor Long is if that was a condition in the planning board decision.
So during discussions, there was a deal brokered, definitely. I did sign that decision. And when Amanda was there, the decision was written in such a way that we didn't specifically call that out in the decision. The decision tied to the drive-through was that the pharmacy was not operating anymore. They would have to take the drive-through out. But the deal was they wanted a drive-through. The planning board did not want to have any drive-throughs in that district. So we told CVS and Andy Rose and Bowditch and Dewey, who were the attorney for CVS, for Andy Rose, that the condition of that permit was that unless there's a minute clinic in that building, they would not be allowed to have a drive-through on that site. And that was discussed at meetings, and that was discussed in staff meetings. I met with them, with Amanda and Jim and Andy, and that was agreed to. So that definitely was an agreement, but because the Minute Clinic is a program, that's why it doesn't show up it doesn't show up in the decision, because I went through the whole decision again, and that's what happened with the decision. So it didn't call it out specifically, but they understand and they know that during one of the discussions on October 30th at one of our meetings, I had to go back and watch it again. That building was specifically cited on that lot so that Minute Clinic would be running along Water Street, and therefore they could put a drive-through on the other side that would come off Edgell Road. Otherwise, that building wouldn't have been built to the size it was built, and nor would have been built with the drive-through where it was put. So the Minute Clinic, and I know that Mr. Norton on the planning board at the time, who's still on the planning board, had made comments about not liking the siting of the building, but we specifically explained why the building had to be situated on the building that way on the site, so that the Minute Clinic would face Water Street, would be on that side, and that the way that was positioned was specific to accommodate for the Minute Clinic. So yeah, they absolutely knew it. It was supposed to be, and hopefully it's in the lease that that Andy Rose signed with CVS, but their attorney is checking into it. I have been talking to them about it. I know that the planning board, I believe the planning board's checking into that, Shane, if I'm not mistaken. So there is discussion about what's going on. I also did speak to the mayor about it to see if she would make sure that she has some discussion with the owner of the property and with CVS to hold their feet to the fire, because it was definitely an agreement. They know that they weren't going to get a drive-through if they did not put a Minute Clinic